Shalom and good day, and welcome to the Super Sons Fortress of Attitude. And for this Super Sons, we are covering Batman and Robin, issue 14, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Now, before I get started, I want to point out that I've got at least some variant covers as well that I'm going to need to cover in relation to their ratings. And there's, of course, the main cover, plus the additional covers, which is 6 overall. So I'll be giving their rating first before I move into the main area of the story. So starting off with first things first, do these first two covers. Now, this is cover 1 and cover 2. Connect to something that is happening inside with the story. To which I give both cover 1 and cover 2 a 7.5 out of 10. I'll now get cover 3 and cover 4 up so you can see them. So as we move into cover 3 and cover 4, I give both of these a 7 out of 10. So for cover 3, it's on the left-hand side. Cover 4 is on the right. Last but not least, covers 5 and 6. Cover 5, I give a 7.5 out of 10, as I do actually quite like what they've done with Damian in this. The only thing that they do need to return back with the Robin costume, especially with Damian, is that he needs to have the R on his belt, not have it show or appear as a D. To which I give the next one, okay, it might not be a D, but it's actually something better and out the way of the D. Yes, it's a triangle, but it looks better than a D, which gives away his name and who the hell he is. The most stupid thing that Joshua Williamson ever bloody did with Damian Wayne's character. And for the cover 6 on the right hand side, I give it an 8 out of 10. I will now get things ready and organized, so we can start to move into the area of the internal art as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as we move into the beginning of the story, we have a bit of a story set in 1892 in basically old Gotham City, and we've got the character of Nicodemus Crow, who is believed to be put to death, as he also gets mummified as well. As we start to move into the main part of the story, or the beginning main part of the story, we get to see both Batman and Robin working together, taking out some of the villains within Gotham City. We get to, of course, catch up at Pennyworth Manor. We do also get some time added to this story, which is really nice to see. It's really good to see someone actually paying attention to the area of time in a story, because there are things that can happen between a certain time which might also let slip maybe certain clues in a story that we, the reader, might need to pay attention to. Even though the writer knows where he's taking the story, the writer also needs to leave clues as to where he might be taking characters in a story, whether it's the character's a villain or something that's happening that might be important and take place later on. Great job, Philip Kennedy Johnson. I'm glad you're including this. And this already comes off way better than what Joshua Williamson did with Batman and Robin, and that's Damian Wayne Robin already. And I'll say one thing, Damian feels more like Damian here, not Timmy and Wayne. We learn, of course, that they are invited to an event, and of course there's also people at the event who aren't very fond of those rich in high places, but that's understandable. It does happen in cities. But this is a fictional story. It's in a fictional city. Of course, Damian gets sent to a table to which he doesn't quite enjoy. And I think it's one thing that Joshua Williamson absolutely neglected in his story run, which Philip Kennedy Johnson has definitely read and done research with the character of Damien, not only Damien, but also John Kent as well, is that he pays attention to the character's character. Right? Yes, Damien might be considered a little bit bratty, but if you look at some of the early stuff when Damien does come off bratty, you got to look at Damien's origin as well. And in it, Damien could actually use his brattiness in a way, just like Bruce Wayne. In other words, his brattiness is a part of his persona. Right? Yes, he's young. Alright, we get that. But he also needs to use this to gather information himself, just like his old man does. Just because you want to call him out for being a brat, yeah, maybe you're underestimating who your opponent might be. As things continue, Bruce Wayne begins to make a move, and we get to see that Damien is actually reflecting on some of the things that have already said to him whilst in the presence of, say, the rich folk and other people who are there. He realizes that something's up, or like something more is up, and what's occurring. Again, just like Bruce Wayne, right? He's showing that side of the character. Until last but not least, we start to reach some of the characters leading into the villain. And last but not least, towards the end, we get to see something that is happening at an event. People have broken through, and it's time for Damien to somehow get out of there because of the restlessness that's around the event. So was Damien right to be a little bit bratty, to be a little bit restless at the event? He was paying attention to everything around him. But let's move into first things first. And that is the area of the art rating, because this is what this is addressing. For the art, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. I actually quite enjoyed the art in this story. Yes, it is completely different without Joshua Williamson and some of the artists that he's had on the story. Next is moving to the area of the story. Do we get anything addressing time-wise? Sure enough, we do. Because we had the year 1892, then we moved into the present, which now... we also had, say, the time coverage between 6 to maybe, I guess, 10 p.m. at night, or close to 10 p.m. at night, which was really nice to see brought back into stories like this. And not only that, it also helps with consistency, and it will also help direct the reader as to, okay, if there's a certain clue that's happening at a certain time, at least we know when it happened. We'd be able to point out at the exact panel when it happened. Okay, it was here. It says it happened at this time. Bang. Next is the locations, to which we get to see Gotham itself. We got the Pennyworth Manor. We have the medical center, the Thomas Wayne Medical Center, and we also learned that there's something happening at the power grid. The cast of characters consisting of Damian Wayne, Bruce Wayne, so Batman and Robin. We also had Oracle, so Barbara Gordon. We had Dr. Basha, and last but not least, a character that Damian met. Whether we will see that character again in the next issue, I don't know. That would be interesting. Her name was Emma, or we learned her name was Emma. She might be dead after these events, and no doubt that will have a little bit of impact on Damian Wayne. For the overall story rating, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it. We'll see. Hopefully, you'll get to see me again do another Super Sons related story. If not, at least I'm glad I got to review this one.